Okay, so here's the deal. God of War Ragnarok is about to come out, and I know it's close to Halloween, but in my heart, it isn't. Like, I can't stop thinking about this game, and also I made a Halloween thing. Don't worry about it. I got thrown in the trash. Just emulate the hand of God just coming down and throwing it in the trash. Okay, because here's the better thing. I just played through God of War recently. It took me like a day. I'm serious. That's all I did that day. I just played through all of God of War again because it's an amazing game, and I wanted to because the new one's coming out. I already stated that the new one's coming out, and I wanted to know everything for it. And I have a ton of stuff that I have on my phone. Okay, so I made a list of notes, right? Because the new game is about to come out, and actually that's what I should do. I should preface this. So if you don't, here's the thing: I'm gonna do a recap of the original game, not the original game. This game, technically, this is the fourth game of the series. If you don't want spoilers, get out of here. So, God of War 2018, right? Kratos, guy from Greek mythology, goes to Sparta. He killed a lot of the gods, most of the gods, basically all of them except for Athena. And he jumps over into Norse mythology to get a hold of his rage and be away from people and have a new life. He meets a lady. She's really hot. She got a cool axe, and that's attractive for Kratos. And they hit it off to have a baby child boy. Where is he? Is Atreus? Where is he? There he is. That's the son, right? And that's what this game is about because she dies. It's messed up. Suck, right? she got and she dies, right? And they have to go on an adventure because she said, the last thing I want you to do, my husband and my son, take me to the tallest peak in all the lands and spread my ashes there. Because, wink, nudge, I'm jumping way ahead for this one. Good job, David. She's a giant. And that peak is in the giant's realm, Jotunheim. So, smash it back. They go on crazy adventures. They have the cool axe. He gets the blades of chaos. Kratos tells Atreus he's a god. They fight Odin's children, Balder and, well, Thor comes later, but they fight Odin's child Balder and Balder's niece and nephew, both nieces. I'm freaking out. Magni and Modi, and we kill all of those guys, all of them dead. Meet a witch named Freya. She's a goddess. She hates us now because we killed her son, who was Balder, because she had a child with Odin, and they basically grow some more. Anything else? They got a head. They got a head on their belt named that's Mimir. He's part of a tree. The smartest man alive. He claims he hasn't been wrong so far. And they're friends with two dwarves named Brock and Sindri who give them gear. And Atreus and Kratos grow to be loving to father and son. Atreus, he shows powers of being able to see the future and talk to animals. And he's really good with animals and stuff like that. And he's just all around cool. He's got a cool bow, a magic bow. It's freaking awesome. And they grow and they share, and it's wonderful. It's a great game. You should really play it. I'm having a hard time explaining it to you. And at the end, when they spread the mama's ashes over the highest peak in Jotunheim, the realm, Atreus is like, oh, that thing in my room. The words, I deciphered them. It said Loki. Oh, big googly eyes, and just because you realize he's a freaking Loki, kind of, but he's not, because in the Odin did steal him, whatever. We know he's not. He's kind of Loki. It's different. I don't know a lot about Norse mythology, so I don't know how that connects here because Kratos isn't from here. But that's the end of the game, right? Faye, Kratos' wife, she knew everything that was going to happen. She did this on purpose because she knew that Atreus is going to be important later because it was his story all along. And and that'll make sense. Put that in there. Beep. Well, there's this actual trending in the game. You go home and you sleep in your bed, and then Thor shows up, and it's like the preface that you're going to fight him later, 3 years later. So, in the new thing, I'm going to be talking about stuff that happens in the old game throughout this explanation of what I think is going to happen in the new game. Because with nice things are going to happen, it's called Ragnarok. And that has a lot of moving parts to it. So that's the first game. And then here comes Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. That's the next game. It's coming out on November 9th. I'm freaking the frick out. And what happens in that game is the prophecy of Ragnarok. A war where elves and dwarves and gods from all the lands just come and they just absolutely tear each other to shreds. It's like WWE. It's like a Royal Rumble, but it's just everybody. They just hate each other and they just kill each other and kill each other and kill each other, and eventually it leads to the destruction of the world. I think at least everybody's dead, right? Right? I'm making a video about this. I don't know what it is. Is there a section for just Ragnarok? Everybody dies, is what I remember. And that comes after 3 winters. Three winters spanning 3 summers called Fimbulwinter, which is the presumably what happens after the after this game when Atreus is all grown up and Kratos is a little older, his beard's cooler, and he's just freaking awesome, which he already was. But I mean, look at the guy; he just keeps getting cooler, and that's Ragnarok. So onto the theorizing. Okay, I made a giant list of notes with basically everything that seemed like it would be important, and I'm gonna talk about them now. And this video is not gonna be structured in any way, but it's what I wanted to do. So it's my miscellaneous video for the month. Also, because it is closer to Halloween, I guess I should do some spooky things. So, spooky fact number 1: spiders. They're everywhere. They're like so many of them. 99% of the world is spiders. Talk about you know two out of three dentists. I almost said dermatologists. 2 out of 3 dentists representing toothpaste. Well, to get that number up there with freaking spiders, that's like 75%, or it'll be 66.6 repeating. But Chase has the spiders. Oh my god! So there's probably like a spider in your mouth right now. Are you scared? Anyways, back to God of War. Oh no. Okay. I'm afraid of the fire. That freaked me out. Okay. First things first. We learned that. Oh, I should have put this part. Cut this part into the part where I was talking freaking about God with the first game. Faye, Kratos' wife, she knew everything that was going to happen, and she did this on purpose because she knew that Atreus is going to be important later because it was his story all along. And yeah, and that'll make sense. Put that in there. Beep. So, first things first. Let's start with the sea snurkman, the sea snake, the snaky boy. Can I blow the horn? I'm trying to blow the horn. The big snake around the world named Jormungandr. He is the world serpent, known in Norse mythology to be Loki's son or child. I mean, it's a snake. Snakes have gender. Do snakes have gender? She's Loki's son, right? And apparently what happens is during Ragnarok, he bites Thor's hand off or finger off or something like that, right? Hold on. God, he hates Aesir gods. And he says he knows the pain. This is a big one. He says he knows the pain that Kratos and Atreus have. And the pain, presumably, that they have at that point in the game is the fact that, well, there's a rift between them. But also, Mom died, right? So maybe Atreus' wife, Jormungandr's mommy, she gets got. She dies. I don't know if that's important at all. But there is literally the only person I have is because I mean that's just how games work. There's only one girl in the Ragnarok trailer. It's that black girl, and she has like Vanir magic. I think she has Vanir magic because she got those druid powers and stuff. Maybe they get together and then there's like a time skip because Santa Monica. Okay, just roll it back a little bit. Santa Monica stated that this is going to be their last game with Kratos and Atreus. This is going to be their last. It's kind of like the Uncharted series where it's like, this is his last thing. So the series might go on, but the whole Kratos and Atreus thing might not stick. I don't know if it's going to be the Atreus' last game, but it might be Kratos' last game. Therefore, if we're going to be playing as Atreus, like in the future and stuff, from now on maybe, hopefully, possibly, because I love these games, that stuff would happen. So, that's what I think. So we know for sure. Write that down. I don't know if you have a list. If you do, future me, good job, dude. You're absolutely killing it. Thumbs up through the time zones. You put things like prophecies for Ragnarok. Jormungandr bites Thor and possibly dies, but he gets sent back in time for the World Tree. So put that all out, but paraphrase it. Jormungandr bites Thor. Possibly kills him. I don't think he kills him. I doubt that, but he might. And gets sent back in time through the World Tree to come back here and do it all again. Got it. And his mom's dead. Okay. Next up, I gotta go somewhere. I'm gonna go to Alfheim. That's a cool place. I'm gonna go there because I need different settings for these different spots. I'm looking through my notes. Also because the story is so similar. Oh, I gotta do a spooky thing. Frick! Scary skeletons. They're notoriously scary. in every body, right? What if they came out of your body? I don't. Hold on. Scary things. Oh my god! Just put some of these pictures up. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna save and put up the pictures that I'm seeing right now. I'll just go to OBS and show them. What is this? Oh, why are they circling old lady? All right. Ooh. Okay. Back to the video. So, what was I saying? Oh, the realm, because of this game is so similar because Ragnarok is so similar to this one. I'm assuming they're gonna be in the same place because in the trailers, some of the trailers show the trailers. Do that. They're in the same place. They're in the same places with lots of snow cover and Atreus and Kratos being older. So the realms that we never went to are Asgard, Vanaheim, and Svartalfheim, which I believe Vanaheim is. Odin has presented access to the realm. That makes sense. Vanaheim or Asgard where Odin resides? I think Vanaheim is where Odin resides. And then Svartalfheim is the land of the dwarves, I believe, which we don't see a lot of. We just see Brock and Sindri. And in earlier in the game, when there's a scroll that shows that Odin covered them off, closed the dwarves off to protect them from the souls from Helheim coming back, which we believe to be something in the same vein. I never finished Kill All the Rockers, so I don't know if there's a lore dump, but and put that on the screen now. But we believe has something to do with the fact that the Hell Souls has to do with the fact that Odin did something to the Valkyries, possibly. That's what Mimir said, and it's in the little journal. It was noted down by little Atreus, and we're not gonna distrust the little boy, okay? We just spent the whole game saving his life, and then and Asgard, which I think is Thor's thing. I don't know. I've seen the MCU, and that's it, which is not a good basis, and I know it's dumb, but now I played this, so that's a little bit better. I don't know what's up with Asgard. There's Rainbow Bridge. That's sweet. And I'm probably going to kill Thor pretty soon, so. Okay. We also learn the fire giant, Surtur, fights Thor and Odin. I don't know if that's before or after it was mentioned, but I don't think they ever mentioned. Did they ever mention when it happens? Because I believe an ancient fire giant in Muspelheim, he forces Surtur to fire and fought or will fight. There we go. So we don't know Thor and Odin. So presumably, well, he said all the giants of Midgard, but Odin could have gone to Muspelheim, but did he know? Because he's got those eyes that can see in the future. So what's the reason why Surtur is still alive and fights Thor and Odin? What's that about? Pretty sweet. This sounds cool. For Sword of Fire for a giant, I think it's probably huge. And also, I believe that Kratos is the whole reason all this starts. He brings Ragnarok way faster than it should have, because it's not supposed to happen for thousands of years. And I understand Atreus is Loki, and there's probably some connection there. The fact that they're supposed to be, like, Thor and Loki are supposed to be brothers, and Faye is part of the giants that Odin hated, and, you know, Vanir and Aesir, and maybe it's just different. Some things are connected, some things are different. But the fact that Kratos is here, like, what? Like, that's gotta mess up your whole prophecy telling and everything. There's no way that's just normal. So, I believe Kratos is the reason why Ragnarok comes early. Also, Kratos says something super interesting at the end of the game where he says that Baldur was searching for Faye, not knowing she was only ashes. So I don't know. I thought he was searching for Atreus, which like was part of Faye's plan. So I don't know what that's about. I mean, I think Odin would just know that Faye is a problem. Like, she knows something that he needs to know, and she's like the pride of the giants right now during that time, or whatever she was doing was definitely going to change existence, which it did. It brought Ragnarok way earlier, so maybe that's just why. But I just thought I'd bring that up. There's a prophecy of a guardian and the serpent being the savior of the giants and will return when gods grow good. probably Atreus. I put Atreus maybe next to my notes. Because if it's like Atreus and the world serpent, you know, when gods grow good, get rid of those evil gods, Odin and his retinue, his malefactors, you know, get rid of them, you just stab them in their toes, and just kill them, and then that's be great. The fact that Atreus said something to the effect of Faye was arguing with giants, rather than them being, like, easily swayed with whatever she wanted to do with that axe in Atreus and Kratos. I don't know what that means. That's weird. Putting it out there. Maybe, I don't know, this is just me talking. My controller's vibrating. This is me talking about just the cool things that I heard that I noticed. Broken Children made Mjolnir. That's a weird note. I don't know what that's about, but maybe they'll know how to destroy it. You know? Tyr. Traveling magically with a key devoted by the giants with symbols from different lands, including Kratos, meaning war. Stolen by Odin, but never discovered, and he had the gift of sight. So, we know all that stuff. I don't know why they brought up all the other symbols of war. Really cool. Don't know why they brought it up. I mean, Kratos already jumped one mythology. What if he jumped another? That'd be sweet. I don't really know. I think one of them is possibly Egyptian or Celtic. I watched a video on it a long time ago, but I don't remember the other one was. And it sounds cool to me. If Kratos dies, then I mean it'll be Atreus doing this stuff. But still, awesome. Freya cannot harm any living thing. That was cool. Learn it because I forgot about that when I first played this game. But playing it again, I realized she never does any damage to Kratos or Baldur or Atreus. But in the new one, she's clearly trying to. And if Odin put that curse on her, like how does that work? Because she tries to attack them. It's in the trailer. But if she ever like lands a hit on them, what happens? Like, it doesn't make any sense. No, that's my theory. Here's another theory. Does Freya team up with Odin again? It sounds dumb because he's the one who put her in that terrible situation. But if she really hates Kratos and Atreus, maybe she joined up, or maybe she joined up with someone to do that. So that's like, how does she get to the point where she thinks she can actually kill or hurt in some way Atreus or Kratos? Because she knows she can't. Odin did that to her, so unless she teams up with Odin or finds some other loop around, I don't know where she's going at, like what she's doing. I don't know what she's going for. Oh, the voices Atreus hears, I believe those are just prophecies, giant prophecies, because he's half giant. I don't know, maybe, but that's what I think. The 4 statics of the world tree, that's some lore that's just dropped in there. Some of this could just be actual just lore that's not important, which it probably is. But some of it can be super important, because things that were in this game that I didn't think were important were super important, like replaying it. Tyr built the realm bridge with everybody? Probably not gonna be super useful, but amazing. Like what? How? Also, Tyr's alive, because in the plaque, Tyr's temple, he has that plaque, that part of the plaque with him, and it shows him helping build the realm bridge with everybody. But then also, there's a part where he's like stuck between 2 chains as a bridge. Like a bridge to his people. I'm a river to my people. Took that a little too seriously, Tyr. And I believe that actually happened. It makes sense. He left himself dead to be the bridge to his people. But that means, how is Tyr alive? Because there were chains in that scene. So is Tyr actually alive, or do they go back in time somehow? That's another theory. Possibly they go back in time. The 4 dragons. Someone actually noticed this on the Reddit. Lemire says there's a certain amount of dragons, and I think there's 1 more. That's just another thing that can be part of the game. So 1 more dragon. So Skull, a legendary giant huntress, one of Mother's favorites. She could hunt birds, boars, deer, anything. Her father taught her how. But what happened to him? Her father, Thiazi, could take the form of any creature. Odin got jealous and tricked Skull into hunting an eagle that was Thiazi in disguise. Is she still out there somewhere under the frozen mountains? What? I hope so. She might not be, but I think the only thing that tips me off that maybe she might be in this next thing, I'm theorizing like crazy, is that Atreus is one of Mother's favorites. The fact that she took the time to tell him about it, and she could see the future. Maybe she was just trying to teach him because he was being a hunter, and she wanted him to have respect for it. But I hope she comes back. I hope all these people come back. I mean, it's a long list, and the game is probably gonna be longer than this one. But I don't know how much of it they need to put other people into it. I mean, they did put some great lore in this one, but we'll see. And then Skull and Hati, the wolf giants, they're in the trailer. First of all, chase the sun and moon, and they if Ragnarok starts when they catch the sun and moon, does that mean Atreus starts it on purpose? Because Kratos is following him, and he's like, well, what are we doing here? And Atreus is like, I can't tell you. He can see the future, and he hears voices or whatever, and because he's half giant, he probably has the gift of seeing, or he might not, but he could probably get it at some point. And the idea that he shoots the arrow that helps Skull and Hati catches the sun and moon. Why? Why are they starting Ragnarok so early? Why is Atreus starting Ragnarok so early? Because clearly Kratos doesn't want it. He doesn't want. He says it in the trailer where he's like, I do not want you to. He doesn't want him to like die being a soldier in like a war that is supposed to end in ruin. Prophecy says to end in ruin. Prophecy also says it's supposed to happen 100, maybe thousands of years later. I don't remember the exact time, but still, we're the outcasts here. We're the outsiders here, and they already hate us. So I don't know if this is gonna help Atreus. I don't know if this is a good idea. I think I'm almost done. Learning a little bit about Faye's family since we are going to Jotunheim. Apparently, Kratos tells a story about what she told him about her family, and that hostile rivals killed Faye's family. So probably Odin and friends. But nothing. That's probably Odin and friends. I didn't think about that one. Groa. A giant sorceress and powerful seer slain by Odin. Did he steal her book of visions? So that's how he's seeing the future. He's using the giant's book of visions. Let me finish this. Called the Knowledge Keeper, Groa was the first to have a vision of Ragnarok. She trusted Odin as a friend. Bad idea. In all caps. In a notebook. Nice. Yeah. So if he's using her book of visions from years ago, and she trusted Odin, I don't know what that means, because clearly some things are going wrong. Odin is using his prophecies, but he can't know everything. He's just extremely paranoid. So the fact that Odin tortured Mimir personally, asking for information as the smartest man alive, I don't know if he got anything out of him, but that's personally Odin? Like, what? Coming to Midgard. Maybe he sent his children, and that's what he meant. But the fact that he didn't state it directly makes me think that Odin, I assume, I could be wrong, Odin tortured him personally. Insane. Why? Also, they call Odin the god of ravens, but in some of the scrolls they always mention someone called the Raven Keeper, which I believe is someone else. I don't know, like that big freaking bird in Helheim. Don't know if that's the Raven Keeper or working with Odin in any way. I saw on a fan thing that it's like another god. It's like a god of like a crow with 4 wings. It's supposed to be a giant, which, once again, insane. If Odin wanted to kill all the giants, but he left one alive, and Surtur may not even be alive yet. Like, I don't even know for sure. Like, those prophecies could come after the Ragnarok. I don't know. And the fact that, like, so he's a giant and he's in Helheim, and we hear someone called the Raven Keeper. I don't know if that's just that giant, but it could be. He wanted to kill all the giants, but he only went for the ones in Midgard. Maybe he couldn't plan to travel to them, or he didn't know they existed. But, like, those are 2 giants that seem rather impressive. And if he hates all of them except for the ones that hid away in Jotunheim, I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting something in how he killed them all, but... And, I think that's it. Oh, the big one. The big one. The fact that Kratos dies. Now, on the little image, people were confused whether that was really him, but I think it was. Now, the problem is that maybe he doesn't die. Because, the whole question of the time travel stuff, and the giants are still alive, and, some things are a little... The questions are there for a reason, I believe, at least. That there's probably some things that are just going to happen. And especially since the fact that Kratos... I mean, these ideas are all quote-unquote prophecies. that Odin would probably use, and he's been wrong before because Kratos is here. So whatever we do in that next game is probably going to change whatever I assume could happen. So, I don't know, but the fact that the fact that he dies, or quote unquote dies, or whatever was happening, he was transferring some of his power to him, or Atreus was transferring his power to Kratos. We don't know for sure. We just know it was like a wind snake. It's like a wind snake traveling around and going into their mouths. So, and yeah, I would, hearing that this is his last game, I would be okay if he died or lived, because it was at the, how it's exactly what Kratos said, where like this is where the cycle ends. Same thing he said to Loki, or not Loki. Same thing he said to Zeus, and he said to Balder right before he cracked his freaking neck, both times. And I just think it would fit so well. Chris has done a lot of things that he regrets, and he's become better for Atreus, but it really would be the end of the cycle. Atreus is innocent in basically every way. He had that moment where he freaked out, which I want to know what that's about. Maybe they'll explore that more. It was like his godhood getting to him. But he also said, he mentioned in that part where he's like, that wasn't me, but it was. So I don't know if that was just mental issues, or if that actually was, if he actually just didn't remember what was happening to him. But either way, it really would break the cycle. Atreus would be the newest god. He would be better. And that would be wonderful, because that's all of us really want. And when he said the guardian and the serpent, when everything, they will rise up, and that will be when gods grow good. And that would be great. We just got to call it balance, including Odin. What do you guys think Odin looks like? Because I just keep imagining like a green Zeus, which is probably not great. Like that doesn't really work. But I don't know what he's gonna look like. Oh, in the trailer, there's a man that comes to his house. When Atreus opens that door, there's like an old man. I believe that's Odin. Because it's not Thor. He's in like robes. He seems old, all quote unquote all-seeing. That guy looks like he would be Odin, like coming to them to do what? I don't know. Make a deal, plead, gloat. Who knows? But that would be amazing. So yeah, I can't think of any other theories. That I wrote all those notes out, and the fact that I can come back to down to a like less than 40-minute video is insane. But that's what I wanted to do. Oh, it's spooky thing because it's Halloween. Freaking last spooky thing. What's scarier than family? The scariest thing that comes after our Halloween, Thanksgiving. What? The scariest thing that could ever happen is not being able to play God of War Ragnarok when it's coming out. I spent all this time trying to figure out what it all meant and how it was. This game was amazing. It's a 10 out of 10. Replaying it again really cemented it in my top 10 games of all time. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one. I want it so bad. It's gonna be so good. Well, future me, take us out. Do something cool. Don't just leave it here. Do something cool. Thanks for watching. Bye.